On a lighter note, there are some great projects going on downtown. You may recall that several years ago, the city of Las Vegas took over the old post office and federal courthouse and decided to turn it into a museum. Well, we have been affectionately referring to it as the Mob Museum, but at the October 1st City Council meeting, the real name was revealed. And as Diana Paul tells us, it was done in true Las Vegas style.
3, 2, 1.
A little over a year after city officials unwrapped the historic downtown post office to unveil a new look, the city is moving forward with plans to transform the building into a museum that will focus on the history of organized crime in our city, complete with a new name. Leave it to Mayor Oscar Goodman to get hands-on when it comes to the official logo. Set to open in the former federal courthouse and post office in downtown Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement, also known as the Mob Museum, will tell the story of the mob's influence on Las Vegas and how law enforcement successfully managed to gain the upper hand. The recent unveiling of the name and logo was the next big step for this project, which has been more than 6 years in the making. It was a nostalgic day for Mayor Oscar Goodman, a former defense attorney for alleged organized crime figures.
I started my legal career basically across the street where this museum is going to be located. I had my first federal trial there, and we're going to have a little plaque because I was so nervous I threw up all over the street before I began to select the jury. So it's a very special day for me. I think it's as cool as it gets, and I love this design. I've always maintained that there is no such thing as a mob, and this proves it.
The logo and name were selected from 150 unique options that were developed with key stakeholders during a day-long workshop led by Wall to Wall Studios from Pittsburgh.
Really, this one made the most sense for us just because it said the Mob Museum, but it also said that the law enforcement was not letting the mob run wild, but they were on top of it and controlling it and actually wiping out the mob. So, in government documentation, if something's classified or secretive or under investigation at the time, oftentimes sensitive materials will be redacted or wiped out. And so this pays homage to the FBI's work and also other documents that would come up as a part of the investigation that was ongoing, and really just helps us with that whole process to bring legitimacy to the law enforcement part, which is really the hero of the museum.
Now that the Mob Museum has an official name and logo, the real work begins this fall to transform the space inside the museum, which will lead visitors through a series of multiple floors of interactive exhibits and include a retail store, special event areas, educational areas, and more. Central to the experience will be the courtroom where the controversial Kefauver hearings took place. Those hearings, led by U.S. Senator Estes Kefauver, sought to expose and control organized crime. This is just one of the many historical aspects of the building.
But this building is so important because it is probably the most historic building that Southern Nevada has. It is the only one that's on its level of the National Historic Register. It's very important because of the Kefauver hearings and because of all the courtroom dramas that played out on in the second floor federal courtroom. So it has an extremely important role in our community, in the history of our community. Many people, former federal judges and current people such as the mayor, remember practicing law oftentimes in their very first federal cases in that second floor courtroom. So it has a lot of history and a lot of meaning for this community.
Our own mayor has some of his own unique historical items to add to the museum's collection.
I can promise you there will be some personal memorabilia in the museum. I didn't realize how much I really had. It's stacked up in a warehouse. Just went over there the other day and take a look at it, and some of it's going to be very, very special. But it's not going to be Oscar's museum, it's going to be the city's Mob Museum.
In 2010, when the Mob Museum opens to the public, this historic building may still look like a post office from the outside, but the inside will offer visitors a glimpse into the unique history that has made the city what it is today. And it will all take place in the heart of downtown Las Vegas.
Just as the Spy Museum in Washington, D.C. is the #1 museum, this most definitely will be the #1 museum in the city of Las Vegas.
If you'd like more information on the museum, the progress of the construction, what you can expect to find inside, you can just go to themobmuseum.org. Thanks, Diana, for that report.